After 45 years of wandering into the abyss, Voyager 1, humanity's farthest and loneliest machine, did something no one expected. It turned back. Not physically, but in the form of data. The signals it transmitted carried something eerie, a reflection, a loop, a disruption. Something so foreign that even Voyager's ancient systems seemed momentarily confused. This wasn't a glitch or an error code. It was something else, a whisper from the edge of space. One that brought back an old fear scientists hoped was long buried. Voyager the first of may have crossed into a boundary that shouldn't exist. A boundary that may prove we were never alone in the dark. In 1977, two spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, launched with vintage tech and cosmic ambition. Designed to last just 4 years, they defied expectations and became immortals. Long after other machines fell silent or were destroyed, the Voyagers journeyed on. Their technology was primitive. Just 69 kilobytes of memory and a processor weaker than today's calculators. Yet they navigated the gravity of gas giants like cosmic dancers, slingshotting past Jupiter and Saturn, transmitting priceless data on moons, rings, magnetic fields, and plasma waves. Over the years, engineers were forced to shut down instruments to conserve power. Heaters, cameras, detectors, each shutdown was a small funeral for a piece of the mission. And yet, Voyager 1 kept speaking. Until recently, when its voice changed. Scientists long believed in the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's influence ends and interstellar space begins. Voyager 1 crossed it in 2012, about 120 astronomical units from Earth. But what it found broke the rules. The magnetic field didn't shift. The particle density rose, but the magnetic direction remained consistent. That wasn't supposed to happen. When Voyager 2 followed years later, it experienced the same. The interstellar medium wasn't what we imagined. It was dense where it should be sparse, calm where it should be turbulent. Even more unnerving, the magnetic field appeared structured, not random, as if it had been shaped, intentionally. Then, in early 2024, Voyager 1 sent a signal that shook NASA's deep space network. It wasn't static. It was patterned, yet structureless. A mystery. The data was corrupted, full of repeated codes and system resets. At first, NASA suspected a memory failure. But when backup systems were activated, the strange data continued. Even from components that were never meant to send such signals. Engineers called it a reflection loop, a signal altered by the void itself. One analyst described it as, like shouting into a canyon that shouldn't exist, and hearing your voice echoed back, but warped by someone else's breath. Some feared a mechanical breakdown. Others began whispering about the alternative, that Voyager 1 had entered a region of space where its signals were being bent, or worse, answered. Scientists compared the corrupted data with cosmic ray spikes, plasma waves, and solar wind decay. A chilling pattern emerged. The interference matched a surge in galactic cosmic rays, rays that should have been blocked by the heliosphere. Even stranger, the magnetic field displayed a kink, a twist that shouldn't exist. As though Voyager had passed through a membrane, and something on the other side had noticed. Explanations varied. Some proposed a dense plasma pocket, others a non-natural magnetic structure, theoretical constructs once reserved for science fiction. But one conclusion was unavoidable. The laws of space we thought we understood don't seem to apply beyond the heliopause. Voyager's once predictable transmissions had become strange. Not intelligent per se, but deliberate. That alone sparked concern. Because if this wasn't just space reacting, what else was out there? Eventually, NASA issued a statement, vague and heavily redacted. They acknowledged partial signal restoration but refused to comment on the repeated loops or corrupted data origin. But inside the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, a classified task force was already working. Experts in AI, quantum field theory, and deep space signal analysis were called in. One insider leaked that the signals included non-random oscillation patterns, at frequencies Voyager wasn't even capable of producing. Something might be piggybacking on the transmission, or manipulating it from the outside. The distortions began just after a cosmic radiation drop. Normally, such changes wouldn't affect internal software. But this time, it did. That raised a disturbing question. Had something external briefly shielded or examined Voyager 1? The mystery remains unresolved. Theoretical physicists are now combing through Voyager's trajectory, decoding what it experienced, and what may lie beyond. Did Voyager pass through a cosmic veil? Did it brush against an alien structure? Or did it stumble into a part of reality where time, space, and physics twist into something unrecognizable? Whatever the answer, Voyager 1, our lonely ambassador, may have proven something terrifying. That in the darkness beyond the stars, something is listening. What made this discovery even more chilling was what began happening to Voyager 2. Though separated by millions of miles, both spacecraft started showing synchronized anomalies. These weren't minor glitches. They involved subtle shifts in signal timing, identical changes in radiation exposure, and oddly parallel alterations in magnetic field direction. Despite their vastly different positions in space, the patterns matched. Statistically, this should be impossible. The odds of two spacecraft in entirely separate regions experiencing the same disturbances at the same time are nearly zero. Unless, of course, they aren't in separate regions at all. Unless what they've entered isn't just space, but a vast, unified structure. Something invisible, something enormous, something capable of touching both probes at once. This sparked a deeper wave of speculation. Maybe the Voyagers hadn't just reached a new area of space. Maybe they'd reached a perimeter. And if there's a perimeter, that implies the existence of a center. And something at the center may have just noticed them. More data continued to pour in, and while the numbers were studied, something else shifted, something far more human. The conversation. Experts who once scoffed at the idea of artificiality started hesitating. Engineers who had spent decades with these spacecraft began to admit, this didn't feel mechanical anymore. It felt responsive. Then, quietly, a disturbing consensus began forming behind closed doors and in quiet meetings. Maybe what Voyager 1 encountered wasn't intelligence in the traditional sense, not a spacecraft, not a transmission. But rather, a mind too large and ancient to resemble anything we know. Perhaps it expressed itself not through words, but through environment. Through physics itself. The strange signal echoes, the mirrored disruptions, the warped magnetic fields. All of it now seemed less like random interference and more like signs of design. Manipulation. Or at the very least, observation. It forced scientists to ask a haunting question. What if Voyager is no longer just drifting? What if it has become part of something? An experiment, a detection grid, or maybe just a curiosity being watched by something that's been waiting for us to reach this far. For nearly half a century, Voyager 1 served as humanity's silent emissary to the stars. A drifting relic of Earth, wrapped in gold, etched with greetings and music, carrying the hopeful belief that one day, someone or something out there might hear it. But no one ever expected an answer. Especially not like this. Because Voyager hasn't just reached the end of our solar system. It's pierced something older, stranger, and undeniably deliberate. It's reached a region of space where the known rules start to bend, where time loses its rhythm, where signals do things they shouldn't. A place that doesn't just receive, but reflects. A place that may be watching. When Voyager sent its distorted signal, the one looping back, impossible to explain, it wasn't just a cry into the void. It was answered. Not with language, not with sound, but with presence. With a subtle echo that seemed to say, "We've seen you." Scientists can argue over the meaning, decode patterns, revise theories, and release sanitized statements. But the underlying truth remains unchanged. Voyager revealed that the edge of our solar system might not be the edge at all. It could be a threshold. A doorway. And something on the other side just cracked it open. If this makes you uneasy, if it sends a chill through your thoughts and shrinks the cosmos into something more intimate and unknowable, maybe that's the point. Voyager the first of may not be done speaking yet. And whatever is out there, it may not be done listening.